Mataz. Quincy Jones is just a genius, an absolute genius. Now we have a special guest in the studio. We've got Councillor Bissy Osendeko, who is running to be the first female MP for St Helens North. Bissy is not only an accomplished entrepreneur and author, but also passionate advocate for families with disabled children. And she's here to share her journey, vision, and why she wants to be an MP and for St Helens North. Welcome to the studio, Bissy.
Thank you so much, Aguna. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Likewise, likewise. I heard the weather's awful right now.
Stormy.
But we're here.
Windy.
We're here, and that's the main thing.
Yes.
So, Bissy, as you embark on this journey to become the first female MP for St Helens North, what motivated you to, number one, even go into politics, and now you're on this road?
Great question. Thank you. Fantastic. So I got motivated to go into politics many years ago. And this was mainly drawing from my life experiences. So I would say that adversity actually led me into politics. You know, I would never really have thought that I would find any sort of fulfillment in politics. But that's really one thing to say about life sometimes. Life can take you to places you really don't expect. So I believe that my life experiences, adversity in particular, actually led me into politics, because I started my journey really wanting to be a scientist, and I studied environmental sciences rather, and it was really when I was in hospital with my newborn daughter, and the doctors read a list of things they believed that she would not do based on her medical condition. And that was when I started to rethink my whole life, and I was basically thrust into special needs parenting. But that also helped me to find my voice, because for anybody who's raised a child with special needs, you will find that you will have to more than ever advocate for your child. But what I've done is, because I found my voice via my experience and my adversity, I started to speak up for other families as well. And so that was how I got into politics. So it wasn't something that I actually planned. Life actually led me into politics.
And you know, it's like, so my next question more or less follows this, because you know, you have got an impressive background. You know, you're a mother, you're a wife, entrepreneur, public speaker, philanthropist. You know, how did these roles, you know, how did they prepare you for politics? Because there's so many people out there who are going through trials and tribulations, and they just want to be left alone. You know, they want to be left alone to look after their children. You know, they haven't got the strength to have a voice. You know, so what was it for you that you thought, actually, I need to be their voice?
Thank you. So I wanted to have a say. You know, when people are making decisions, I think very early on, I started to look at the professionals I was interacting with, not just the doctors, nurses, occupational therapists, physios, social workers. And then I started to realize that the people that made decisions affecting my child or families like ours sometimes didn't really understand our lived experiences. And so I wanted to have a say. In a way, it's almost like wanting to be in the driver's seat of your life. And I guess you like you said, that's not for everybody, but for me, I wanted to have a say, you know, in terms of trying to sort of navigate, you know, life, and sort of trying to reorganize things, and really wanting to understand what the future really held for my daughter. And also coincidentally as well, 2 years after my daughter was born, my son was also born with autism as well. He was born premature. So no matter how I try to sort of, it's almost like you can try to run away from destiny, but it will always find you one way or the other. And so I noticed that in our Shostad centers many years ago, all the activities were all geared towards, you know, children who were neurotypical, so children wouldn't have any disability at all. So we felt excluded. And I'm more of a doer, not just a talker.
Yeah.
So I approached the manager of the center and said, why don't you have, activities and services for families like ours? And they went on about funding and stuff like that. So funding for what? Coffee, tea? Okay, I get it from my kitchen. And that was how it started. And I think they were absolutely shocked that I did go on about paperwork and things like that. I literally just started. And that's my personality. I just get on and just do it. And that was how I actually got into the community. I remember walking into my community center as well and saying to them, look, I want to make friends. I want to know a lot more about what's going on. And I can help you to do this, do that. I think the expectation is when you see a young mom, you make, they sort of had an expectation that I was there to maybe ask for something.
Okay.
And so I said to them, I'm going to build your website. I'm going to do this, administration, do this. I started to mention things that needed fixing. And they were absolutely shocked. And that was how I became the administrator as well for my community, organization. And that was how I got into. And then I moved into the charity sector as well, also volunteer.